Hello, people of the internet. I hope you're doing well. My name is The Growing Tree, and I appreciate you for clicking on this video. Before we get started, please drop a like and don't forget to subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload. Also, if you would like to follow me on X, my handle is at GG the Gaming Tree. The game playing in the background is the awesome adventures of Captain Spirit. The game perfectly illustrates childhood wonder and the importance of not giving up on your inner child. The question to ask first is, what are these concepts? Childhood wonder is what causes you to think that anything in the world is possible. Have you ever asked a child what they want to be when they grow up? Well, the answer can be a lot of different things. Answers can be all over the place. Children tend to think big because they can believe that anything is possible. Your inner child is the thing inside of you that still has that wonder, the one who may or may not be logical but always thinks big. It's a beautiful concept of having an inner child because it allows you to think of the what-ifs as you get older. It allows dreams and for younger children to have goals. For the young at heart, it reminds us that even if things are bleak, they were not always that way. I believe at one point in everyone's life the belief that all things were possible. In an ever-growing and changing world, we may not always believe that. The childhood wonder and the inner child may be gone for some. For others, they may have never left it. And for others still, they may be trying to recapture it for one reason or another. In the opening scene of the game, we see our protagonist drawing a superhero named Captain Spirit. He's exactly what the child in the game wants to be. The child wants to be a superhero, something that adults would not think about wanting to be and realizes they cannot be. Despite the darker themes of the game, the child still has the imagination that allows him to have a childlike wonder that can go away and be missing as we age and progress in life. A little bit further in the game, we realize the dad probably is not the best, and maybe why our protagonist utilizes his childlike wonder to help him in his everyday situations. This, unfortunately, can relate to real life, as sometimes children are put in those situations. It is horrible and tragic, but it can also help to understand why some do not give up childhood wonder as a form of escapism as an adult. As we get older, we tend to give up on big ideas that we might have had in our childhood. Your inner child can become quieter and quieter if you let it. It may be because it's not actually possible. For example, if you ask some children what they want to be when they grow up, little kids might say they want to be a prehistoric dinosaur. Obviously, most adults realize that they cannot be a dinosaur, but it's less about what they want to be and more about the reason behind it. That is the inner child that believes they can do anything. Nothing is off limits because they have not developed the idea yet that certain things are not possible at certain points in your life. The only limits for young children are what the world eventually tells them are limited. For some, this is really soon in their young lives. Maybe they have something in their environment that happened that causes that spark to leave, or maybe their nurturing part was not so nurturing and causes them to have to grow up too quickly. Does the inner child ever disappear? I do not believe it disappears, but I do believe that it can dampen and is like a muscle that, if not utilized, will atrophy. Why we tend to rid ourselves of big ideas as we get older. For some of us, they are unrealistic. Being a dinosaur, for example, is not something we can be, as that would be impossible to do. For others, our big ideas no longer serve us in our current roles. For example, you grow up and start a family, you have a spouse and children. All of a sudden, your idea of opening up a brewery with your college buddies does not sound as rational as it did when you were 21. For some of us, we realize that our childhood ideas and inner child are harder to deal with because we really want to do something but may have never developed the skills to do so. For example, some children want to do a very specific career that requires a skill that, as we grow older, we realize is very difficult for us. If you want to do a career that requires advanced math, and as a teenager, you are not very good at math, and it is one of your weaker points in academics, you may subconsciously pivot towards careers that do not require the same level of academic prowess. You may not realize it at first, but slowly over time, you might self-sabotage to avoid missing out on the dream you once had. When you pivot, you allow a new idea to take over pushing the old one aside. When you do this, you could allow yourself to avoid the pain of realizing a dream you once had will never come into fruition. On its face value, though, it's a win because you still made an achievement, even if it's not the original one you had in mind. If you have made it to the end of the video, do not forget to give the video a thumbs up and tell me what you wanted to be when you were younger, or what is the inner dinosaur that you might want to pick up again. If you like this video, there's another one on the screen that YouTube will think you like as well. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.